Stephen A. Smith, speaking of your Pittsburgh Steelers, true story. I came in today poised to pick the upset in this game. I thought this would be the classic trap game for Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos, and I was poised to pick your Steelers to pull this one off until just moments ago, I heard via the Steelers' Twitter, what a world we live in.
Breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news. I heard that Antonio Brown is officially, they say, out. And that means, number one, that Pac-Man Jones does owe Antonio Brown an apology, as he promised. And I must piggyback that apology because I owe Antonio or whoever in the Steelers camp an apology because I gave Pac-Man the benefit of the doubt about saying that Antonio winked at him from the ground after that hellacious upside-the-head hit from Burfict in the game, obviously, at Cincinnati last Saturday night. So I gave Pac-Man a benefit of the doubt because I was curious about that. I was intrigued by the detail of that. Well, now I'm not so sure about the wink because, now, as I said all week, the proof won't be in the pudding, as the cliche goes, but in the playing. And now that he's not playing, he's got a concussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so the right side of this was your side, Stephen A. Right? We had Ryan Clark on the side. I give it up to both of you. You were on the right side. I was on the wrong side. Now back to this game. I still think it won't be easy. Even and again, I was doubtful about what Ben's going to be. Will he be able to play or not play? I'm going to guess that he will, but I have no idea with his torn ligaments in his throwing shoulder and all the issues that he had after the Burfict hit on him. So I thought that he would play and Antonio would play, but even if they don't, I told you the other day, the majority of the pressure in this game will be on Peyton Manning, and now you can triple that with no Antonio Brown, and who knows if Ben will even play or not. I'm going to remind you, Peyton Manning in the postseason is 11-13. He has not started a game for 2 months. He has lost 9 times his first game in a playoff season. 9 times? That's incredible.
That's 5 times more than any other quarterback.
That's 5 times more. In 6 of those games, he lost his first playoff game of a year at home. Really? 6 times at home? That's a horrible record. And trust me, being the historian that he is, Peyton is all too aware of that record. He's probably pretty aware of the statistic that shows you that when the temperature is below 40 in outdoor games, Peyton is 0-5, and the combined losing score of those games is 147-65. The temperature, high temperature in Denver, that's Sunday sort of evening, if you will. It's late afternoon Mountain Time, but it's supposed to be a high of 40. So I assume some of the game will be played below 40 degrees. I'm just going to guess that. And that would mean that history would strongly suggest that he'd have a hard time in that game. And then if Ben does play, I'm going to remind you, in that recent game at Denver, Denver, it was Brock Osweiler, obviously, was up 27-10 late in the first half. 27-10. And the Steelers scored 24 unanswered points. And in the second half, Ben threw 3 touchdown passes as they won the second half 21-0. 2 went to Antonio Brown, who caught 16 of the 18 targets that he was thrown. And Ben threw for 380 yards against a Denver defense that allowed no other 300-yard passers the whole year. So Ben can beat this defense if Ben plays. And obviously, now he's not going to have his primary weapon. So now I have to back off and say, well, I got to flip my pick around. I still think this will be a struggle and a battle for the home team to win it. Just on the guts and the guile of Mike Tomlin's crew, I think they'll go fight, no matter if it's even Landry Jones at quarterback, and keep it close. And in the end, I'll go 17-10, fairly low-scoring game, home team, Peyton's team.
Well, let me say for the record, I think you have officially lost your mind. If you think for 1 second that it's going to be close with Landry Jones in as quarterback, I think you need to be tested. Something's wrong with you.
I thought you were a Steelers fan.
Listen, I have no faith in Landry Jones. Zero. That's it. Did I study? You need me to repeat it again?
Yeah.
Listen, Denver Broncos are the 4th-ranked defense in the NFL. They are number 1 against the pass. They are number 3 against the rush. Number 1 against the pass, and you're the Steelers, and Big Ben Roethlisberger's got an issue with his shoulder, and Antonio Brown, who caught 16 receptions for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns, eating up Chris Harris like we've never seen Chris Harris eaten up before, can't play? And you're telling me that it's going to be 17-10? Please, I don't believe that for 1 second. Not even a little bit. The Steelers, in order for the Steelers to beat the Denver Broncos, this game. I believe the Steelers are going to have to score more than 24 points, and I can't see them doing that. I know Martavis Bryant can play. I know Marcus Wing can play. Heath Miller can play. I don't know what D'Angelo Williams, he's going to be available. We all know that he can play. Got nothing but love for my Steelers, and you know how I feel about Mike Tomlin. But this secondary is highly suspect, and whether it's Peyton Manning or Brock Osweiler, I don't think for a second consecutive meeting, considering what happened in Pittsburgh, that they're going to be able to hold the Denver Broncos scoreless for the entire second half like they did in the previous game, no matter who's quarterbacking. And then when we get into the Steelers and what they're going to be able to put up points-wise, I think Landry Jones, to me, he's a third stringer. I have no faith in him whatsoever. And, I've learned a long time ago, listen, Mike Tomlin ain't perfect. Mike Tomlin has made his mistakes. There is no question about that. And perhaps there are times when we need to mention that. But at the same time, I am a fan of his. Not just as a coach, but as a person. I love the guy. And he's straight up. And I remember how Landry Jones came into that game when Big Ben Roethlisberger went down early in the season. And he came off the bench and propelled them to victory. I believe it was against Arizona, if I remember correctly. And Mike Tomlin, everybody's raving about Landry Jones. They're so proud of him. We're moving forward. Big Ben's going to be out for a few weeks. All is going to be well. And Mike Tomlin was like, pump the brakes, y'all. Let's see. Yeah, it was one game. Calm down. He was very nonchalant, dare I say dismissive about it. Clearly because he knew something at the time no one outside of Skip Bayless knew about this dude, Landry Jones. Very, very, very average, to say the least. I am no fan. I do not believe he can get it done. I will happily, spew a mea culpa and swear to the heavens that I was wrong if he proves me wrong. But there is no way in hell I'm picking the Steelers to beat the Denver Broncos in a playoff game in the Mile High City if Big Ben Roethlisberger cannot go. Or he's not close to 100%, which clearly he is not expected to be. I have to go against my Steelers, and I have to pick the Denver Broncos to win this game. I think they'll win 34-23. And the 23 that the Steelers score, or the 23 that I was getting ready to say, the 23 that the Steelers score, it'll be a late touchdown because they'll probably be down like 34-16 or something like that. It'll be a late score, but I can't see them beating Denver.
After you bashed and trashed Landry Jones, you're giving him 23? You said 24 would win the game.
First of all, I said Denver would score 34. Secondly, and more importantly, I did articulate that it would be more decisive, but it would be a late touchdown by the Steelers when Denver's in prevent. And thirdly and lastly, don't make me repeat myself again when you know I'm sick.
Okay,
don't make me talk more than I have to today.
Just last hypothetical. What if Ben does play and you were surprised at how well he does play? Would you give them any shot?
That's different.
Okay.
Yes, I would.
Even without Antonio?
Even without Antonio, I would give them a shot if Big Ben was healthy, like healthy enough to throw the ball downfield and could go. I give them zero shot with that secondary against Denver. I give them zero shot with Landry Jones needing to come to the rescue. I don't see it.
Okay, I just want to say real quickly, those two kids who subbed in at running back last Saturday night,
good job.
Fitzgerald, Toussaint. And
good
Jordan
job.
Todman.
From UConn.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. He's a UConn guy.
We love
They really impressed me. They ran hard. They ripped and slashed, man. They were not afraid of the stage. I was impressed. I think they still have some quality running game.
Let me touch on that point, because here's where I disagree with you. I was very impressed with what they was, and as a Steelers fan, I was very proud of what I saw from them. Here's the problem. If you're the Bengals, you couldn't prepare for them, because you hadn't seen much of them.
Yeah.
If you're Denver, you have.
Maybe.
So as a result, if I'm Denver, I'll suffocate the line of scrimmage and dare Landry Jones to beat me before I let them. I play an even keel and give them an opportunity to run the football. I dare Landry Jones to beat me if I'm the Denver Broncos. I would dare him before I dared Toussaint and Todman. No way on earth am I going to sit them and let them run the ball and Landry Jones is behind center. Please, throw the ball all day. Let me see what you have, because you'll give it up eventually. That's what I'm thinking if I'm Denver.
when I was watching Landry Jones play at the University of Oklahoma, I never dreamed his name would come up so many times in the A block of a First Take show as it just did.
Dream came true.
That's impossible.
It's by default.
I know.
Only due
I
to
get
an
it.
injury
It's
to
for
Big
all the
Ben.
wrong reasons.
Oh.
Right.
All the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm rooting for, gentlemen? Fairy tale ending for Peyton Manning. You know this. Broncos favored by 7. Want to see them in the Super Bowl. But we need to get to the other AFC divisional playoff game. Last time, the Chiefs faced the Pats in 2014. Remember this? Kansas City crushed New England 41-14 at Arrowhead. This time around, it's in Foxborough. Will it be a different result? We dive into that next. This has been quite the busy sports week, and more in store for this week. And of course, we've got you covered for all the big NFL matchups and some interesting NBA storylines as well we'll get into. To see our complete rundown, head over to IG.